And thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Felicia Lawrence with meteorologist Sean Ash, and it is a weather impact alert this Wednesday. That's because the weather story, it's changing. Snow is on the way. Temps are expected to drop. Sean's here to walk us through it.
Yeah, I know it's going to be, this here in the metro area over the next 90 minutes, the change is going to be pretty interesting because we've been at 40 degrees for a little bit this morning, and we're going to be dropping, and we got the snow that's on the way. I want to show you a live look outside here. This is from an NDOT camera near Lafayette. Now the roads right now are wet. The concern is going to be what doesn't get dried up by this brisk northwest wind is going to get icy as we go through the rest of the afternoon and evening. And speaking of that wind, take a look at the gust. So this is kind of a bunch of things happening all at once. It's going to be very windy, it's going to be turning colder, and we've got this burst of snow that's moving through. This is a little farther south on I-65 near Frankfort. Again, you can see the main roads here at this time are wet. Elevated surfaces will get slick first with this cold air, and you can see the burst coming in. All right, so the camera's there right here, and there you see that darker shade of blue that's drifting toward Lebanon and Sheridan, and this will move across the metro area between 12:30 and 1:30. Coming in from the north, coming off of Lake Michigan. Look at the temperature drop behind it. It's 29 in Lafayette. It will get even colder, not only from the temperature standpoint, but wind chills as well. They'll be dropping into the low teens to finish the day. Hang tight there in Shelbyville, Columbus. It'll get to you last, but it is on the move. This is by 1 o'clock. That's the first burst. Then we will have a lake effect. We'll let you know how much we're expecting, the impacts, all covered in the forecast.
All right, this next story is a bit tough to hear, but this is what one family is saying. A family is announcing plans to sue Indianapolis Public Schools. Court documents reveal claims that a teacher at Washington Irving Elementary School physically and verbally abused a kindergartner multiple times. The filing says the teacher purposely tripped the boy, picked him up and dropped him on the floor, and used a closet as a disciplinary measure. On October 6th, a witness says the teacher pushed the boy hard enough that he fell and hit his head. The family says they didn't learn about any of this until a call from the Department of Child Services the next day.
Yeah, it's very egregious. I mean, imagine you're a parent and you get a call from DCS that your child has been abused, not just once, but on multiple occasions.
The tort claim notice says the family is seeking more than $700,000 per incident of abuse. An IPS spokesperson says a teacher at the elementary school was under investigation for allegedly using excessive force. They say that teacher is no longer employed by the district. We're working to learn if this suit is about the same teacher. The district says it's working on a response to our questions. And we're learning more about a settlement between a downtown Indy bar and the State Alcohol and Tobacco Commission. And it comes months after Metro Police say a security guard shot 2 women as they left the bar. So we're talking about the patron saint. It's located off Meridian Street, just south of Georgia Street. And a week after the shooting, Metro Police say the bar also failed to check an ID and served someone underage. Now, the ATC's reached an agreement with the bar to settle the violations it faced for public nuisance and furnishing alcohol to a minor. And it includes 2 separate 3-day weekend suspensions, with one happening this weekend, as well as other actions like increased staff training and an improved process for checking IDs. News out of the Indiana State House. A Democratic lawmaker says he's running for Congress. State Senator J.D. Ford says he's filing paperwork today to run for the 5th Congressional District. Ford has held leadership roles in the state Senate, most recently as Minority Whip. He also serves on 8 committees. Ford spoke exclusively with our Emily Longnecker about his plans. He says he's been approached by constituents saying they'd like to see him in Washington.
We need to have leaders to go to Congress, compassionate public servants, to go to Congress and push back on this administration, as well as continue to fight for everyday Hoosiers. You know, that's what I've been doing in the state Senate for these past couple of years.
Ford currently represents Senate District 29, which includes parts of Boone, Hamilton, and Marion counties. Some of the 5th Congressional District overlaps with that area. Incumbent Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has already announced that she is running again. She's represented the 5th District since 2021. And this is the time of year when utility bills just skyrocket as we all turn on the heat to stay warm. And right now, lawmakers are considering a bill they think could bring relief to Hoosiers. House Bill 1002 essentially deals with the cost of electricity. It would automatically enroll Hoosiers in budget billing, which means your bill would be averaged out over the year to avoid price spikes in high usage months. You can opt out, but some express concerns about how often the utility companies would re-average the bill for people using that budget billing option.
But the challenge is, especially if you're a low-income customer, if you have a large balance, a large arrearage, what happens to that arrearage? Do they have to pay that immediately? If so, from our perspective, we're going to exacerbate sort of unaffordability, increase disconnections, especially for vulnerable households.
Now, the bill would also keep a person's electricity from getting shut off if the temperature is dangerously high. Right now, that kind of protection only exists in the winter. It also calls for electric utilities to offer support to low-income customers. So for some Hoosiers, this year's commute is already costing more. Alex Almanza has details on Indigo's fare hike that was approved last year and just went into effect.
Get more in here? And I'll give you one more.
At the Julie M. Carson Transit Center downtown, every second and fourth Tuesday of the month means a food giveaway in partnership with Second Helpings. This year, it's no longer just a summer program.
So today was Food in Transit. It was our first of 2026, and we recently announced that program, which is typically a summer program, is now available year-round.
Lisa Sword with Indigo says the decision came after seeing the need wasn't going away.
We're able to serve more, and I think we find that there's a greater need. I mean, there's a need year-round, but there's a greater need certainly when it's colder out.
And that need is part of a bigger conversation riders are having right now. Just days into the new year, Indigo's fare increase approved last year is now officially in effect. For some riders, the hike makes sense.
They did explain it, kind of the history and comparisons to other rates of transportation in other cities, and I don't think they've had a rate increase in a while.
For others, even a small increase hits hard.
It needs to go back down. We don't have that income right now. We're fighting just like them to take this bus.
Indigo says they've been notifying riders for months, but reactions are still mixed.
We're always going to have some who are unhappy about it, and we understand that. But, I think from our safety as a top priority perspective, we are pleased to see that we have had very few incidents of riders, really being unhappy about these fares.
As riders line up for groceries twice a month, many say it's a nice gesture, but that they hope their extra dollar goes a bit further.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I think it does kind of inconvenience the other people who are just riding this to get to point A to point B.
Indigo says in addition to those rate increases, they plan to phase out some passes later this year. They say the best way to save money is by using the MyKey app or the physical cards to take advantage of monthly fare caps.